Good morning, everybody. I am Vempati Srinivasulu, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, Nagarjuna Government Degree College, Nalgonda. So, today we start a new chapter, that is Coordination Chemistry. Coordination Chemistry. It is a new chapter in your syllabus. This class is meant for BSc second year, third semester students. In this chapter, we will discuss what are coordination compounds, what is the difference between double salts and coordination compounds, and what are the terms used in this chapter, and what are ligands, what is the IUPAC method to name these compounds. All these things will be covered in this chapter. Okay, then. So in this chapter, coordination compounds, a definition and examples, Werner theory, chelating, ligands and chelates, nomenclature of coordination compounds, isomerism in coordination compounds, effective atomic number, Sedgwick theory, then hybridization of atomic orbitals, valency bond theory, etc. will be covered in this chapter. Okay. So what is a coordination chemistry? So let us define what is coordination chemistry. So coordination chemistry is the study of compounds formed between metal ions and other neutral or negatively charged molecules. So not only neutral, negatively, sometimes we can see positively charged molecules also come. So this is a definition about coordination chemistry. It is a science, it's a branch of chemistry which deals with the coordination compounds. So what are coordination compounds? In coordination compounds, we see metal ions which is surrounded by different positively or negatively or sometimes neutrally charged molecules. So these are coordination compounds. The chemistry that deals with the coordination compounds is coordination chemistry. In this coordination chemistry, we will see the properties of coordination compounds, geometry of coordination compounds, what is the hybridization involved in this coordination metal hybridization of the metal in the coordination complexes, and we will explain the properties of different coordination compounds with the help of valence bond theory. The stability of coordination compounds explained by Sedgwick theory. So, and molecular antibody theory, by using MOT, we can explain well about structures and properties of different coordination compounds. So this is a branch of chemistry which deals with the coordination compounds. So what is a coordination compound? The question arises. So the study of coordination compounds is a coordination chemistry. But what is a coordination compound? It is a compound which has one or more coordinate bonds. So we see in the chemical bonding chapter, we see bonding for different types, ionic bond, a covalent bond or coordinate bond, like that, hydrogen bonding. So in these compounds, we see coordination bonds. So it is a compound which has one or more. Generally, we don't want two or more. So two or more coordination bonds, coordinate bonds, coordinate covalent bonds. So we see this type of bonds in these compounds. In a coordination bond, there is a species which donates a lone pair of electrons and a species which receives a lone pair of electrons. So I already told you. So in coordination compounds, we see coordinate bonds, coordination bonds, dative bonds. So in the dative bond, what we see, how it forms, we know that the sharing of electron pairs occurs, but an required electron pair is denoted by one molecule or atom. So the group which is denoting electron pair is called donor. The group which is accepting from donor is called acceptor. So that means a coordination bond occurs between donor and acceptor. So in this our coordination compounds, we see a donor and an acceptor. We see donor and acceptors. So most of the time, the receiver of the lone pair electrons is a metal ion. So generally, coordination compounds we see at least one or sometimes more, two or more also there. So we'll discuss about later those things. But we'll discuss in the primary level the metal complex compound having one metal. So most of the time, the receiver of lone pair of electron is a metal ion or sometimes metal atom. In the case, what we call it is a metal ligand complex. So that means we see metal ion accepts electrons from the donors. So here donors are ligands, acceptor metal ion is accepting electrons from ligands. So there is a bond formation taking place between ligand and metal. That's why there is a complex formed between metal and the ligands. That's why it is called metal ligand complex. So it's clear. In coordination compounds, there is two or more coordination bonds. What is a coordination bond? It's a covalent bond forming between donor and acceptor. Donor, a group which has lone electron pair, which which has a tendency to donate electron pair, and other a metal ion which accepts electron pair. So generally this is called metal ligand complex. In metal ligand complex, metal ion accepting electron pair, that's why it is acts as Lewis acid, whereas ligand molecules are ions donating electron pairs to the metal ions, that's why these are called Lewis bases. So metal complex is assumed as a salt formed from a Lewis acid and Lewis base. There's a metal complex. Okay, then so coordination compounds, you see this for example a metal complex. In this centrally is cobalt, CO is cobalt. There are another molecules. You see this one is ammonia, 2 ammonia, 3 4 ammonia molecules, and 2 chlorine atoms are surrounded cobalt ion. So it's a complex. So example, so a cobalt metal ion surrounded by 6 ligands, 6 group, 6 molecules. 4 molecules are ammonia, 4 ammonia molecules, 2 chlorine atoms. So in this central metal atom, cobalt is forming metal complex. If the metal complex it bears a charge, we can call this as a complex ion, maybe cation or anion. Most of the cases, generally complex charge, it has some charge complex. That's why maybe cationic complex or anionic complex. Some cases complex doesn't have any charge, neutral. Covalent compound exists as a neutral molecule in which a complex doesn't have any charge over it. So compounds containing complexes are coordination compounds. So this is a coordination about coordination compounds. In the coordination compounds, we see centrally we observe a metal atom at center of the molecule, center of the structure, center of the unit. So it is surrounded by other atoms or ions. Okay, this is about coordination compounds. So what is a complex ion? A complex ion has metal ion at its center. It is at its center with a number of other molecules or ions surrounding it. These can be considered to be attached to the central ion by the coordinate bonds. I already told you. In a complex, what is a complex ion? In coordination compounds, where a coordinate compound has some charge. In some cases, coordination compound doesn't bear any charge, neutral molecules. But in many cases, we observe a charge over the complex. That's why this is called complex ion. A complex ion has a metal ion at its center. So in the complex ion, you see a metal ion. You see in the previous slide, it's a metal ion. Cobalt is there. You see this is a cobalt. It is a, okay. It is an cobalt is there. This cobalt is center of the molecule. It is surrounded by different negatively or neutrally charged molecules. Okay, it is a complex ion. A complex ion has a metal ion at its center with a number of other molecules or ions surrounding to it. These can be considered to be attached central ion by coordinate bonds. I already told you central coordination compound is treated as a Lewis salt in terms of Lewis acid base theory. So a metal ion is formed or bonded, connected to the other molecules, maybe positive or negative or neutrally charged, with the dative bonds, coordination bonds. That's a complex ion. Okay, so complex ion may have either it has a positive charge or negative charge. If it has positive charge, we can call these as what? Cationic complex. A positively charged complex ions is called cationic complex. A cationic complex is a cation. You know what is cation? Cation is an ion which has positive charge over it. For example, if you see an example, in this example we see, observe carefully, nickel, aqueous nickel salt or nickel chloride or nickel sulfate, when it is treated with the aqueous ammonia solution, aqueous solution of ammonia, it is forming a stable compound. This type of compound, it's a, you see, generally complex ions are indicated in square brackets, like this, square brackets. This indicates complex ion. So this is a complex. In this complex, we are observing a nickel is there. This is a nickel. Nickel is central metal atom. Okay. It is surrounded by 6 ammonia molecules. The charge over the complex ion is +2. You see, is a +2. So that's why this complex is cationic complex. So in coordination compounds, the complex ion may be positive or negative. If it has positive, the charge depends upon it surrounded molecules, surrounded species or surrounded molecules. In other words, surrounded ligands. The nature of ligands, it affects the charge of the complex. So charge of the complex, if it is a positive charge, we can call as positive complex. Okay, this is example for positive complex. You see, this is a positive complex. So, okay, in this complex, how it is forming? Nickel ion, nickel +2 ion is binding with the 6 ammonia molecules. So 6 ammonia molecules are donating 6 pairs of electron. That means one ammonia molecule is donating 1 electron pair to the nickel by forming one coordination bond. Okay, that's why 6 coordination bonds is possible in this complex. So this is a cationic complex. So in this in this formation of this complex or salt ion, nickel acting as electron pair receiver. That's why hence it is a Lewis acid. Whereas ammonia molecules are donating electron pairs to the nickel atom or nickel ion. That's why ammonia molecules acting as Lewis bases. So acid and bases are combining to form this complex ion. So this is a cationic complex. It's clear. So it's a cationic complex, a complex which has positive charge. This positive charge is depends upon central metal atom and its surrounded atoms or molecules. We can in the later sessions we will discuss more about them, how the positive charge comes, how to calculate this charge in the next slides. What is a negatively charged complex? So, I already told you, a negatively charged complex ion is a called anionic complex. So, cation means positive charge. If a complex has plus charge, it is called cationic complex. Whereas the same complex may have negative charge. In those cases, that complex ion is called anionic complex. The complex ion may be cationic or anionic. This is depends upon the nature of surrounded molecules, what we call as ligands. So this is an example for anionic complex. This is an example for anionic. Why anionic complex? You see, over the complex ion it is written as minus 3, 3 minus. So its charge is minus 3 in number. So how it is formed? It is formed from iron ion, iron and cyanide ions. Okay, these iron and cyanide combines when those solutions, iron containing plus 3 ferric solution and the cyanide containing solution, when we mix these, we provide required conditions, we'll get this type of complex. This type of complex. It is a anionic complex. So in this complex, we see ferric ion Fe plus 3 is acting as Lewis acid. Why? It is accepting electron pairs from 6 cyanide ions. So that's why cyanide ions are Lewis bases, whereas ferric ion is Lewis acid. So between these two, it is forming a complex ion is forming which has minus charge. That's why it is a anionic complex. Next, what is a coordination number? In this chapter, we'll come across with the different terms. One term is over complex ion. What is a complex? What is a coordination compound? We discussed different examples. We'll see the examples in the next slide. What is a coordination complex? What is a coordination complex ion? What is a coordination compound? What is a complex ion? Two types, cationic complex and anionic complex. So other term is coordination number. Coordination number. So what is a coordination number? So the number of in the coordination compounds, a number of ligands are donate electron pair donating groups surrounded by the central metal atom or ion in a coordination compound is called coordination number. You see, the coordination number is the number of atoms directly bonded to the central atom. What is central? Metal atom. Generally, in the center of the place, metal is occupied. Metal is there. So the metal in these compounds or in these complexes, how many bonds are there directly? How many dative bonds are there there, which are directly bonded to central metal atom? That number is called coordination number. According to this number, the geometry depends. The molecule's geometry depends upon this coordination number. Okay, donor atom is the atom directly bound to the metal. So donor atom, what it does, it donates electron pair by forming a bond between metal and the donor. That means number of bonds, number of coordination bonds also we can say coordination number. So number of dative bonds in a complex we call as coordination number. Okay, this is a coordination number. You see, this coordination number is depends upon the certain metals with a specific oxygen state only. They expect a specific coordination number. For example, copper plus 1. You see, the copper is there. Copper plus 1, it can exhibit 2 or 4 coordination number. If it is 2, we can say it is a linear shape or something. 4 tetrahedral or a square planar. So depends upon the coordination number, geometry changes. Okay, for example, silver is there. Silver is in silver plus 1 state, it is 2. It exhibits coordination number 2. That means it can form two bonds with the donors. That means it is able to form two coordination bonds. That is nothing but coordination number. You see in the other RM RS AU plus in the state it can donate, it can form two or four bonds. That way the coordinate number may be two or four. The two or four depending upon the conditions or ligands, it depends. Like that, iron plus 2, 6, cobalt plus 2, 2 4 or 6, nickel plus 2, 4 or 6, copper plus 2, copper plus 1, 2 or 4, copper plus 2, that means cuprous 2 or 4, cupric 2, 4 or 6, zinc 4. Like that, aluminum may exhibit 4 or 6, scandium 6, chromium plus 3, 6, iron plus 3, 6, cobalt plus 3, 4. So like that, Rm plus 3 also 4, 6. So these are the different examples of coordination number of different metal ions in particular oxygen state. You see in copper plus charge it is showing 2 or 4, whereas copper plus 2 state it is 4 or 6. So that depends upon the charge. So same metal atom in one oxygen state it is showing one coordination number. The same metal atom in other oxygen state it is showing different coordination number. So that means the coordination number depends upon the atom as well as charge. So this is a coordination number. So coordination number is a number that central metal atom can able to form bonds. So number of coordination bonds in metal complex is called coordination number. This coordination number is varies metal to metal. Same metal atom exhibits different coordination number in different oxygen state. If I okay, that's it. This is about coordination numbers. Okay. A characteristic feature of the coordination compounds is their ability to retain solution. So actually, in general, the compounds are two types. Double salts. Our salts are two types. One is the double salts, other is coordination compounds. So what is the difference between these two is, if you see double salts in the syllabus we have in previous classes we studied about carnallite and different you see the formula of carnallite is KCl MgCl2 6H2. It's an example for double salts. So the combination of two or more salts gives double salts. But these double salts, when they dissolve in water, they don't retain their identity. They lose their identity. That means a carnallite is there. It has some properties. When this carnallite dissolves in water, we will get the aqueous solution of carnallite. These aqueous solution properties are different from that carnallite, original carnallite. At the same time, when this compound is dissolved in water or any other solvent, the ions formed shows, and that means they an individual in the solution the compound ionizes into different ions, separates, dissociates into different ions which exhibits specific property. That means carnallite, when we dissolve carnallite in water, the solution gives test for potassium ion, magnesium ion, chloride ions. So that means carnallite, it is losing its own property, its own property. It is identity is losing. Carnallite is exhibiting in as a salt. It is showing some properties. When then it is dissolving in water. It is losing its identity. At the same time, it is giving tests for its constituent ions. Those are called double salts. Whereas in our case, coordination compounds are contrary to this double salts. What happens when we dissolve in coordination compounds? It retains most of the properties are retained by the compounds. So that means the majority of the properties doesn't change when the compound is dissolved in the solution. So it retains its properties. Further, we can't give the tests for individual ions. When coordination compound dissolved in water or any other solvent, it also forms one or more type of ions, but it gives number of less ions when we compare to double salts. In the double salts, what possible will get all possible number of ions will exhibit will it exhibits all properties of all constant ions. In the case of coordination compounds, we don't expect, they don't exhibit the each constant ion property. It will discuss in the latter in detail. Just see what I'm telling is coordination compounds. When actually this is a definition, this is a very important property of a coordination compounds. When coordination compounds, the compound what we are calling as a coordination compound, when they dissolve in water or any other solvent, will get solution. That solution retains its original compound properties. It don't lose its identity. Those are called coordination compounds. This is not occurs in the case of double salts. These double salts, when dissolved in water, it loses its originality. Further, it gives all tests for possible cations and constant cations. For example, cornlite is there. Okay, cornlite is exhibiting. It is giving test for potassium and magnesium and chloride ions when it is in solution. Okay. Oh, this is a cornelite. Another example is the alums are there. Potash alum, chrome alum, manganese alum, like that. These alums also acts as double salts. These alums are having special properties. Alums are the compounds, monobasic sulfates and tribasic sulfates, which has 24 water molecules. We call as alums. Alums treated as double salts. These alums, when dissolved in water, will get a solution. This solution is give. This solution gives all tests for all independent constant ions. That means for potassium is there. In the potassium, what if potassium sulfate and ferric sulfate is there? Potassium sulfate and aluminum sulfate. So it gives test for potassium ion and aluminum ion and sulfate ion. That is the double salt. In the case of coordination compounds, we will see in the previous slide, we'll see different, we'll see in the next slide also. So coordination compounds retains its property, that's important. Okay. Coordination number of ligands bound to a central metal ion. Coordination sphere, the group comprising metal and ligands. So what is sphere? Generally sphere, we will write this symbol for indicate the coordination sphere. We use a square bracket to denote coordination sphere. We'll see the next slide. Okay, polynuclear there are some compounds which has more than one metal atom in the center. Those complexes are called polynuclear complexes. So these polynuclear complexes contains more than one central metal atom. So we can have say 2 or 3. This is observed in the case of carbonyl complexes, metal carbonyls. So you'll see in the next year. Now, okay, another chapter, metal carbonyls is other chapter. So this is about some properties about coordination. So the major difference between coordination compounds and double salts is clear. So coordination compounds are the compounds which retains their property which are dissolved in water. Whereas double salts, when they dissolve in water, they lose their identity. In the solution, they give tests for all constant ions. For example, double salt is a carnallite or alums. There are so many alums, potash alum, chrome alum, like that, manganese alum. Whereas for coordination compounds, potassium ferrocyanide, potassium ferricyanide, tetracyanonickelate, like that, tetracarbonyl nickel. So ferrocene, pentacarbonyl iron, all these examples for coordination compounds. So that will come in the later slide also. So what are coordination compounds? Examples. What are double salts? Examples. Next slide. So charge, just I told you, metal complex has some charge. Okay, how to calculate this charge? What is charge? Charge of the complex is equal to sum of the charges on the metal and ligands. For example, if you see this example, it is a complex compound. It's a complex ion. It's a coordination compound is made up of cation and anion. It's an anion. That's why it is called anionic complex. In this anionic complex, the charge over the complex square bracket is given -3, 3 minus. That means this 3 is a sum how it came? It is a sum of central metal atom iron and all cyanide ions charges. You see, you know, iron charge. Okay, so the in the complex ion charge is equal to sum of the charges of metal and the ligands. In the next slide, you see example. Okay, see, iron is plus 3. If you see plus 3 and minus 6. Each cyanide is a negative ligand. We will see in the next slide. Like there are negative ligands. Cyanide is a negative ligand. Each cyanide has one minus charge. We know Cn minus. Cn is having one minus charge. That is 6 cyanides, 6 minus. So 3 plus 6 and 3 minus 6 is equal to minus 3. So that's why charge of the complex is minus 3. So how it came? Complex charge is nothing but it is sum of the central metal ion charge and all ligand, the charge total sum of the all ligands. So when we add these charges, we'll get the charge of the complex, maybe more positive or maybe negative. It is a positive, we call this as a positive complex, cationic complex. If it is a complex has negative charge, we call as negative anionic complex. Okay, so sometimes the complex doesn't have any charge. We see how it comes. Cobalt in this complex, you see cobalt, hexaamine cobalt chloride is a compound. So this is an example for coordination compound. Why we are selling neutral complex? It's a compound neutral compound. It's not in this compound complex. It doesn't have any charge, either positive charge or negative charge. That's why it is called neutral compound, neutral complex, no ion. So how why it is neutral? You see in the next slide. So total charge is equal to, okay, cobalt has plus 2. Okay, this cobalt has plus 2. Ammonia is neutral ligand, 6 ligand, 6 neutral, 6 into 0, 0. And Cl2 is, Cl is minus 2. So Cl, chlorine minus 1. 2 chlorines minus 2. So therefore it's a plus 2. Total charge is the plus 2. So cation plus 2 and anion minus 2. Therefore it is a negative compound full charge. Total charge is 0. This is 0. We can't say this is 0. Actually it's a cationic minus cationic complex. It's also cationic complex. So it's also cationic complex. It's not a neutral. Neutral compound is neutral, but complex is a cationic complex. Why cationic complex means it is written wrong. Actually, chlorine is Cl2. Cl2, Cl each one minus 1. So minus 2. Therefore, charge of the complex is plus 2. So it is a cationic complex, not a neutral complex. Okay. For neutral complex, we have some example. For example, tetracarbonyl nickel. You see, for example, this is not wrong. Tetracarbonyl Ni CO4. This is a complex, neutral complex. Tetracarbonyl nickel 0. It's a neutral complex. Why? Because only one molecule is there. There is no cation, no anion separately. It is a complex, neutral complex. So this is not neutral complex. It is a neutral complex. I think you understood. So how to calculate oxygen number of central metal atom? Just now we told you, knowing the charge of the complex ion and the charge on each ligand, one can determine the oxygen number of the metal. So just now we discussed the total charge on the complex is equal to, how it comes? When we add central metal charge and the ligand's charge. So by combining these two charges, we'll get the complex charge. So it is given in this complex tetraamine copper 2. We will see in the nomenclature in the next class, in the next class, following classes. But the compound name is tetraamine copper 2. Tetraamine copper 2. So the whole complex is having plus 2. This is a charge. So total charge is equal to plus 2. So ammonia, we know neutral ligand 4 zeros 0. So that's why the cobalt charge, the copper charge should be plus 2. So in this way, you can back calculate the central metal ion oxidation number. So knowing the charge on a complex ion and the charge on each ligand, one can determine the oxidation number of the metal. That's it. So by using the total charge and the ligand's charge, from that we can calculate the central metal ion charge. So you see in this complex, you see chromium plus 3, I have water molecule 0, and Cl each one minus 1. So the two ions are there, that's why 2 minus. So by adding these 3, you will get plus 1. That means this complex has plus charge. That means plus 1. It's a complex. If you say that this complex is a plus 1. How is plus 1? How it came? So we are adding all the metal and ligands charges. Chromium is a central metal atom. It has plus 3 charge. We are not telling in the problem also it is giving. Water we know is a neutral ligand. 4 mu 0 0. Chlorine is a negative ligand. It has 1 minus 1 charge. So 2 minus 2 into minus 1 2. So minus 2 plus 3 it is a plus 1. So that's why net charge on the complex is plus 1. So this is the oxidation number or charge of the complex. So from charge of the complex, we can calculate central metal atom charge also, central ion charge also. So formulas, how can we formula, how we do the formula? So generally these are the two examples for different two coordination compounds. It's this one. So it is a potassium is there. It is written before the complex ion. So generally, when we write the formula of ionic compound, for example, sodium chloride is there, NaCl. Why NaCl? Na is cation. That's why you have to write the cation formula first. It is followed by anion. So cation followed by anion. It is a system in IUPAC method to write the formula of salts. We adapt the same rule here also. So in this complex compound, we see carefully. First one is a potassium is a cation and the complex is a negative ion. That's why anionic complex is there in the first example. Okay. In the second example, you see coordination sphere is written first, followed by chloride ion. That means this complex is a cationic complex. Chloride is a minus ion. So cation followed by anion. As in the ionic compounds, we write formula of ionic compounds. First cation followed by anion. We are adapting same system. So first we have to write the cationic part and write the anionic part. So in the first case, potassium is a cation, complex is anion. That's why it's an anionic complex. In the second case, example, complex is having it is written in the first. That's why it is assumed that it is a cationic complex and Cl is a minus ion. So by seeing the structure, we can say whether a complex is a cationic complex or anionic complex. So this is okay. Next, relating the formula of complex to the coordination number or and oxidation state of the central metal. What are the coordination number and oxidation state of cobalt in the complex? Is the question. So it is a given a question. So if according to this formula is asking what is the what are the coordination number and oxidation state of the cobalt. So you see by observing the structure of the by formula of the compound, coordination compound. How do you say it is written in the square brackets? That's why it's a coordination compound. In this, what is the central metal atom? Cobalt is there. It is a central metal atom. Cobalt is central metal atom. So central metal atom exhibits a coordination number. What is coordination number? The number of ligands or number of molecules surrounded by it is called coordination number. So how many molecules are there? Ammonia molecules 4, nitro 1 molecule, Cl 1 molecule. So altogether it is 6. That's why 6 is a coordination number. Cobalt in this complex called cobalt exhibiting coordination number 6. I think you understood. Okay, this is the answer. So this is the answer. How it came? In the square brackets, we have to calculate all type of molecules other than central metal atom. So one chlorine is there, one nitro is there, 4 ammonia molecules. So from all together, it is becoming 6. That's why coordination number of cobalt is 6. One question is over. So in the same question, it is asking what is the charge, what is the oxidation state of the central metal. So it is by observing the formula, it is observed that it is a neutral complex. The complex is not a ion, either not a cation or anion. That why? Because it is doesn't having any group or atom after the complex or before the complex. That's why it's a neutral molecule. That means no cation, no anion, only one molecule. That's why total charge is equal to 0. So all by adding all ligand charges and central metal ion charge, atom charge, it would be equal to 0. So by from this information we can calculate the central metal atom oxygen state. So how Cl is minus 1, we see minus 1. Okay. 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 You see cobalt Cl minus 1. Okay. Nitro also minus 1, minus 2. Ammonia is neutral molecule, so 0. So minus 1, minus 1, minus 2. That's why to become 0, we have to add plus 2. That's why the charge of the cobalt is plus 2. Now, minus 1, minus 1, minus 2, plus 2, plus 2. X is equal to, how it is? Wrong answer, it's plus 2. Plus 2. The slide is written wrong. Okay, so central metal atom charge is plus 2. Total negative minus 2. So ammonia 0. That's why cobalt is plus 2. That's the answer. So double salts over. What is double salts are the on dissolution in water loses their identity. Complex ion doesn't lose their identity on dissolution. We already discussed. So this is about today's class. In the next class, we'll discuss the remaining part. So what we have learned today is what are, once again I recap just today's class. What is coordination chemistry? It's a chemistry, the branch of chemistry which deals with the coordination compounds. Then question comes, what are the coordination compounds? So coordination compounds are the compounds which differ from double salts. Doubles are the compounds which loses their identity when they dissolve in water. When they dissolve in water, they give tests for the individual ions. Whereas our coordination compound, when they dissolve in water or any other solvent, they don't give tests for individual ions. It retains its property. That's a very big difference between double salts and coordination compounds. So what are the examples of coordination compounds? Potassium ferrocyanide, potassium ferricyanide, tetracyanonickelate, or tetracarbonyl nickel, or pentacarbonyl iron. So all these are examples for coordination compounds. Come to the examples for double salts, cornellite and alums, chromalum, manganese alum, potassium, like that. Then in coordination compounds, we come across the new terms: complex ion, central metal ion, ligands, coordination number, geometry, etc. etc. So what is metal ion? In the coordination complex, coordination complex is indicated by square. Square. In this square, we'll observe a metal. So metal ion has some charge. Maybe I may not. So central, it is founded by ligands. So number of ligands is nothing but coordination number. The total charge may be 0 or minus or plus. The charge on the central complex is 0, we call as a neutral molecule. If the charge is a minus on the central metal complex, we call as if it is plus, cationic complex. It is minus, we call as anionic complex. So what is coordination number? Number of coordination bonds exhibited in a complex by a central metal ion or atom is called coordination number. The number may be 2 or 4 or 6. So we have discussed different coordination numbers for different metal atoms or ions. A metal atom exhibits more than two more, to one or more coordination, but it depends upon the ligand as well as the charge. For example, iron plus 6 chose. Okay, nickel 4 or 6, like that. So different metal atoms, different exhibit different coordination numbers. In the coordination compounds, we observe a ligand. Ligand is the electron donor. So I already told you a dative bond is formed between electron pair donor and electron pair acceptor. Electron pair donor in this case is ligands. Electron pair acceptor is a central metal atom. So that means a dative bond is forming, taking place in this compound formation. It is treated as a salt of Lewis acid and base. Okay. Then coordination number. How to calculate the coordination charge on the central metal atom as well as a complex ion. It's already learned that when while writing the formula of the coordination compounds, if you write cation first followed by anion, the complex is in the first place. We can say that's a complex cation, cationic complex. If you write a complex in followed in the second part, you can say that's an anionic complex. So these things we learned in this class. In the next class, we'll discuss so many things, IUPAC nomenclature and extra and different things. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.